Hello and welcome to GYSB Talks. Get your sexy back talks with host Carla Palmer. That's me. Welcome to another episode. This is the #1 podcast for women 50 plus who want to elevate to their next level of optimal living. Here at GYSB Talks, we focus on a holistic approach to wellness, physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally, and in relationships. I am so happy and oh so grateful that you are here with us today and every week. Now, let's get into today's topic, shall we? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of GYSB Talks. I am your host, Carla Palmer, and I am here with these two lovely ladies, Barbara and Aingeel. Hi, welcome to GYSB Talks, Barbara and Aingeel.
Hi. Thank you for having us. We're so
Yes,
excited, Carla.
for sure.
Me
Carla.
too. I am excited too. So you have a company called 50, Nifty and More. And we wanted to talk about that. I specifically want to talk about it because this is my age group and I am so inspired by what you guys are doing. I think it's so necessary and I want to bring it to the GYSB Talks audience because it is in direct alignment with what I do with the GYSB movement, right? Focusing on a holistic approach to living life to the fullest. So
Right.
tell us about 50, Nifty and More. Actually, hold on. I need to really introduce you guys with your bio. So one second. So Barbara brings decades of executive entrepreneurship, community service, mentoring, and leadership to community and nonprofit boards. Barbara's lifetime commitment to the human experience and her journey as a mentor in various fields has been invaluable in her business relationships. Her desire is to provide empowerment to women throughout their life's stages. Aingeel Talley is a gifted artist and happens to be my beautiful cousin and businesswoman who has created her own success in both salon and jewelry world on both coasts. As a 40-something artist and entrepreneur, she relishes in the thought of having been called an old soul since youth. Sitting around and bantering with her elders naturally led Aingeel towards a progression in life that continued through service for mature, radiant Black women. So it's clear why the two of you are connected and doing this business together. It's very clear.
For
So
sure.
now tell us about 50, Nifty and More.
Well, 50, Nifty and More is my passion. I have felt that not enough attention has been paid to Black women in general. We are usually the leaders everywhere. We're the problem solvers. They copy everything. I was listening to a comedian recently, and he said, "Give us back our stuff." Everybody's always stealing our stuff. And so I wanted to say that during that time, as I was looking for stuff, I went online looking for things for women who are over 50, Black women who are over 50, and I found virtually nothing online. And that's where the idea of 50, Nifty and More started. Now, fast forward, my beautiful friend here, I kept mentioning it to her. And one day she finally acquiesced to shut me up. I think, yeah, let's do this. Let's create a website for women who are 50 or more who can come and find resources and have a tribe.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as women, sometimes you can be rendered invisible. I think if you add the layer of like being a person of color, and then you add the layer of age, then you can feel even more unseen, unheard. And so representation really matters for us. And so we really want to just celebrate and give flowers to, one of the biggest, most powerful populations on earth. So.
When you talk about being invisible and us feeling like we are invisible, do you think some of it, and I'm not saying all of it, do you think
Sure.
some of it is because of our own insecurities and the way that we process through aging? Like for me, I know that I used to go live a lot more in 2015. I was on this app called the Periscope app. I was going live every day. And then as I started aging and I started looking at myself, because when you go live, you see yourself on the screen and sometimes you start to pick yourself apart. Oh, I've got lines here. Now I've got a gray hair here. Now my teeth are shifting. Like all of these things are happening. And I think sometimes we start to dim our own light because of the
Mhm.
insecurities that we are feeling as we are aging and as things are starting to change with our
Mhm.
physical selves.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think that has a lot of validity, which is one of the other reasons we felt this website was so important because when these things are changing, as I experienced them also, I wanted to know, are there any resources out for my skin? Are there any resources out for my hair? What are people doing? And looking online, I found all kinds of things for millennials, for all kinds of things for other groups of people, but nothing that addressed African American women. I wanted to be unapologetically for Black women.
Hmm. Hmm. I hear that word a lot. Like, what does that mean to you? What does unapologetically mean to you? Because I hear it a lot and I just want to just define it for us.
That you're okay who you are. You're okay. You have no reason to give any reason for who you are
Yeah.
and what you're doing. You're just fine. So I don't have to apologize to you for being Black, the color of my skin, or for my hair to be the way it is, or anything, because I'm okay.
I
Sure.
love it.
And I think, like, when you were talking about, do you think that's some things that we kind of take on? I think to some degree, and I think a big part of this is just encouraging us all to be where we are and to accept where we are and to maybe celebrate former versions of ourselves, but to also like celebrate now, future. It's a gift to be alive. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so
I
like that's
do.
a big part of it. Yeah,
I know
for sure.
exactly what you mean. How did the two of you connect?
So I relocated from New York about over 10 years ago, and I was really I was praying for a mentor because I was starting my business from scratch again, coming back home. And so one of the things I did was start to kind of mentor some younger folks and kind of mirroring what I wanted to receive myself. And I just prayed about it. And
Mhm.
then as I was working in the salon, Barbara walked in, and it just sort of like went from there.
Mhm.
So she became my mentor, my coach. We bartered services, and we just
Mhm.
developed this beautiful intergenerational relationship. And I think she's helped me so much with my businesses. And so her talking about wanting to do this, I felt like just my background and having like the target audience that I have with being a hairstylist and working already with that demographic, I was like, I think I can help you do that for sure.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and I've always wanted to stay current. As I said earlier, I don't want to be my grandmother, but I don't want to be my granddaughter. so,
Right? That's
uh,
great. I love it.
so Angel kind of fell in between there, and I loved working with her. And we just kind of, got it together, and there the marriage started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So speaking of staying current, like we are moving so fast with
Yeah.
AI and technology and digital currency, even the menus when you go to the restaurants, since COVID, everything is digital. So how do
Mhm.
you stay current with how fast paced this world is going towards, technology and artificial intelligence and all those things that we have to embrace because if we don't, we're going to get left behind.
True, true.
Mhm.
And it's not easy because, as you said, it comes after us all the time. So, one of the things that we try and do is to make sure that the articles that we have in our pillars, we have health, wealth, leisure, love, and passion. Did I forget something? Passion. No,
Did you say beauty?
beauty.
Yeah.
So
Style.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah,
so
style.
what we attempt to do, and we're doing it because people are telling us, "Oh, I love your articles," is that we are doing the research, making sure that what we present to our audience of subscribers is up to date. So
Hmm.
we research and we listen to our subscribers. They give us information and give us ideas on what to
Topics.
look for, topics. So we stay current that way, which I love it because that means I stay current, you know, because that's what we are writing about.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, were you going to say something, Angel?
No.
Okay. Do you all plan on having any conferences or any live events in the near
Ah,
future?
Yeah, good question. We definitely plan to do that. A big part of our philosophy is like tribe. camaraderie, like fellowship. And so we're going to do a podcast. We want to do some in-person events. We're talking with the gallery now on the East Coast. And so we definitely want to do that, like really foster community in those ways. So you can look forward to that coming in
Yeah.
the future. Yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
How do you
And one of the
find
things
the people to write about in your articles?
we get plenty of ideas. When folks come
Yeah,
to us, we have, there's so many wonderful Black women out there.
So
I mean,
many.
we could write an article every hour
sure.
because there's so
No
much
shortage.
out there. There's no shortage of interesting women to write about. So we
Mm-hmm.
get referrals. We'll get referrals from other people. And then just by reading, you'll read about something. And what's been fascinating to me is that we have gotten more history, like the woman who created the eye exams.
Dr.
People,
Bev, yeah.
Dr. Beth, people that we didn't know about and that other
Mm-hmm.
people know about, and they refer those
Yeah.
women to us.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
we also try to use just the women that we know because we know so many dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
powerful women. And a
Mm-hmm.
big thing for us is like to highlight the everyday woman. Like celebrities are great and we see those, but for us, it's like the women who are doing the work
Mm-hmm.
constantly, who deserve their flowers. So we know a lot of people. We have a brilliant writer that helps like find, if there's a story we need told and we need a little bit of collaboration, a little background,
Mm-hmm.
then she helps with that too. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really like a collective endeavor. We invite people if you want to be on, if you have something you really want to say, we would love to like amplify. And so people email us all the time. Yeah, so it
Mm-hmm.
happens like organically and intentionally for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
One of the
One of the
things
things I
we
like about something I read on your website, you said, not celebrities,
Yeah,
superstars.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right,
Yeah.
because we all have like some kind of superstar quality
Mhm.
about us.
Mhm.
Sometimes it hasn't
Absolutely.
yet been tapped into, and I think people can come to your website or read your articles and really start to think about like their own superpower, their own way of shining their light in this world, and that's just so important. And I know that this is for women 50 plus,
Mhm.
but I think it would be so important for young women to read some of these articles because I believe, and I could be, solo in this belief, but I believe that there aren't enough mentors for young women right now. And I feel like a lot of young women are lost. They are, following trends and following, to me, some negative things on social media because social media is such a powerful tool. It's so
Sure.
influential in young people's lives. And I think it's important for women, young women, to see some of the women that you all are highlighting.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I grew up in church. I grew up going to church, and I got a lot of my mentorship and guidance from church women.
Sure.
Church was
Mhm.
not perfect. I mean, I'm a pastor's daughter. Church was not perfect, but it was a place that we went one or two or three times a week.
Mhm.
And women were speaking into our lives and, you know,
Mhm.
baby, put your dress down. Don't be
Yeah.
smacking your gum like that. I mean, these are little things, but it taught me how
Yes.
to present myself in the world with
Mhm.
class and grace and
Mhm.
style
Mhm.
in a way that was modest, yet sexy. You can still be
Sure.
sexy and modest, but I love what you're doing, and I hope that the message is trickling down to some of the younger women in your women's community. Maybe they're sharing articles with their
Yeah.
daughters or sharing articles with their nieces, but I love it, and I just appreciate the work, and I'm happy to be able to highlight this on the GYSB Talks podcast
Thank
because,
you.
Thank
again, it
you.
is in direct alignment with what I do as far as a holistic approach to living
Mhm.
life and I'm a Christian, so being a good Christian woman but also having fun. A lot of people think that being a Christian is boring. It's not. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, wholesome, healthy, joy-filled life.
Yes.
I love
And
it.
I
And you
just
can
want to
see
thank
it.
you guys,
Yeah, you can
We
see
for
can
it
see.
doing what
on
you're
you.
doing.
Mhm.
And what else do you have anything else that have I missed anything? We can continue the conversation as long as you want, but I want to make sure that the message that you want to get out on here is done.
I think like you highlighted something really beautiful. I think one of the things with Barbara and I is the intergenerational relationship and how beautiful that is. And I think that like Barbara always says, there's somebody turning 50 every day,
Every
right?
day.
Every
And
day.
like as I like I'm, early 40s. And so as I talk to some of my friends, even when I do interviews, I did an interview the other day with someone who is turning 70 soon. And one of the things she said she wished she knew when she was like just more people sharing about aging, sharing, the journey. There's so many things sometimes that our mothers didn't tell us because it was sort of like hush hush. And so I feel like also like if you're younger, if you're not unapologetically Black, if you're a person of color or not, there's value for you in the articles. And I feel like it's good to just kind of like know what to look forward to, really.
Absolutely.
Good and bad, in this process.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we want to continue to do is to be able to highlight the activity that the 70 and 80-year-olds are not sitting at home watching television.
They're
Barbara's
traveling
out more
around
than
the
I
world.
am. Any day of the week, she's out more than
that we're active, we're
Yeah.
doing stuff. So next month, next month we're going to start one of our new things on our website, which are birthdays. And tell us what what you're doing on your birthday. Send us pictures so that we can put it on our website. And we're going to start with my birthday, which I will celebrate in Jamaica, which will be my 80th
See?
birthday. And we're
Yeah.
going to have a good time.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
see, I said it. They're traveling around the world, and then she comes back with this.
Please, during our launch, were you in Trinidad or were you in?
Yeah,
She was in-
I was in Trinidad on our launch in February.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Exactly.
80 years old. Oh my goodness. I
Wow.
never would have guessed.
Oh,
I
I'm
never
glad
would
of
have
that.
guessed. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said I'm glad of that. You couldn't have guessed.
Yeah.
Oh, never would have guessed. And it's not just your physical presence, it's the way that you're very vibrant. And that's something else that I saw on your website, that you guys are celebrating the vibrancy that women empower and exude, so you are living what you are sharing with others. Both of you are. I have a question that I ask. I'm starting. This is the second one, but I'm asking all of my guests to answer this question. And that question is, when you first heard the word sexy, what did it mean to you? Whatever age you were, and what does it mean to you now? And I asked that question because of GYSB and what it means for me to present the GYSB message. But what does sexy, how has it evolved for you?
I think for me, when I first heard sexy when I was younger, I thought it was very like overt, feminine, you know what I mean? Showing maybe like just this sort of kitschy way to be. And now I really feel like it's freedom. I feel like it's just being fully liberated in your body, in your spirit, in your soul. I just feel like it's being free. Yeah. I think that's sexy.
Yeah.
That's
And mine
perfect.
has evolved because I was kind of a church girl too. My grandfather was the bishop and my grandmother was the mother of the church. So sexy was not something you talked about, it was not you mentioned. So over the years, I have redefined sexy. And what I see now, and one of the things you mentioned earlier, we really need to get the word out there that sexy doesn't necessarily mean naked. That sexy is a whole state of mind. And it
Listen.
is that freedom. You don't have to look like everybody else, but what you have comes out from within.
Ah, that's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. How can people find your website, subscribe to your newsletter, read your articles, follow you on social media? Let us know.
Yeah, so we are at 50 Nifty and More. So that's spelled out 50 Nifty and More. .com is our website. You can sign up on our newsletter on there. We are on Instagram at 50 Nifty and More. And this is just such an invitation. We are writing the longest love letter to Black women, and we just invite you to join us, be a part of our tribe. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I will put that information in the show notes so that people can just click to go and follow you on all of those different platforms. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for saying yes. I love having you guys as guests. I love it that you family, and we were able to do this. And I wish we could, I hope that we can be better connected. And I know we're not too far. You're in Long Beach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But Barbara, it is,
because Carla's going to be on our website. We're going to feature her in an article coming out in July. So check that out.
Yes.
We could put a link in there too.
Thank you. And, Barbara, thank you for coming. It's so great to meet you.
Same here.
Kind of in person.
Right.
Thank you.
Technically.
But I hope you have a beautiful birthday coming up in Jamaica. And I celebrate with you from over here in LA while you're there. But love to you both, and continued success.
Okay.
Again,
we love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. And if you all want to stay connected to GYSB, you can stay connected on Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. I am GYSB Movement. You can follow me there. If you have any questions, you want to email me, I can be found at gysbmovement@gmail.com. That's the email. No. GYSBmovement@gmail.com. Yes. And then the website is GYSBmovement.com. I look forward to hearing from you. And then there will be a Q&A section below here on the podcast. Please engage so I know what you like and I know what's resonating with you, so that I can curate podcast episodes in the future that speak to you as well. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Take care.
All righty.
All content on this podcast and any linked blog, podcast, webinar, course, or video material is created and produced for informational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied on as health advice. The information is general and may not be suitable for your personal circumstances or complete health objectives. Do not use this content as a standalone resource to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease for therapeutic purposes or as a substitute for the advice of a health professional. Never delay seeking advice or disregard the advice of a medical professional based on our content here on this podcast. If you have questions or concerns about your health or medical condition, please seek guidance from a medical professional.